Let's get
lyrical. It's a miracle how he gets so lyrical.
This is lyrics.
Kicking lyrics right to you.
let's get
Skipping reels of rhyme.
Lyrical, from the lyrical.
these words of mine.
Let's get lyrical.
Podcast.
With Carice and Daniel.
Anyway, should I go on with my 1,400 other songs, or do you want
Keep it coming. No. Maybe you should just run today's episode, and I'll bring in all my shitty love songs next time. Let's see how it goes.
We could, because this is a very this podcast is going to come out first, so maybe we should talk about Burt Bacharach for a second.
Yeah.
And we should pay a little bit of a tribute. I mean, he was going to come by past at some point anyway, and I think this is probably a very good day to mention him and to
No doubt.
listen to him, to read him, I guess.
Yeah, R.I.P. to one of the real great pop composers of the late 20th century.
Yeah.
So what song of his comes to mind?
Mine, I mean, I guess we could do what do you get when you fall in love? That one.
Yeah.
With a slightly softer version of Wild is the Wind.
Well, so I'm assuming that Bacharach was not a lyricist; he was the composer. So I'm assuming Hal David wrote the lyrics to that song.
Oh, of course. I think so.
Yeah, it's Hal David. Hal David was his lyricist collaborator for almost his entire career. He collaborated also with Elvis Costello at one point and others.
Yes, that's a record that I listened to a million times.
Yeah. So this song is called I'll Never Fall in Love Again. That's the title of it.
And so many people have sung it, but we're going to do Dionne Warwick.
Stuff.
It sounds a bit off.
What do you get when you fall in love? A guy with a pin to burst your bubble. That's what you get for all your trouble. I'll never fall in love again.
Ooh, I love that little harmonic change.
What do you get when you kiss a guy? You get enough germs to catch pneumonia. Do you do? Never fall in love again.
It's so nice, cynical and sweet.
Don't you know that I'll never fall in love again? Don't tell me what it's all about, 'cause I've been there and I'm glad I'm out of those chains that bind you. That is why I'm here to remind you, what do you get when you fall in love? You only get lies and pain and sorrow. So for at least until tomorrow,
Till tomorrow.
That's the line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'll never fall in love again.
So
I mean,
good.
it's the same with any. It's so good, and it's the same with it, like with any addiction. You just said one more chocolate and then it's over. One more
Right.
cigarette, doesn't now, and tomorrow we'll see again.
Yeah, that's right. I'm done at least until tomorrow. Yeah, that's the line that makes the song. What do you get when you fall in love? You only get lies and pain and sorrow. So for at least until tomorrow, I'll never fall in love again. Yeah, it's a classic AABA song. You got the A section, the second A section, and then a B section with different music and different, rhythmic meter and all that, and then a concluding A, and it takes you on a journey. The first A, basically just the thesis statement, love sucks, love is not worth the trouble. Second A, nice little joke on you get enough germs to catch pneumonia. After you do, he'll never phone you. I feel like that's maybe a little bit of a euphemism for other kinds of diseases you might catch when you kiss a guy. I'll never fall in love again. And then don't tell me what it's all about. Oh, so I didn't read the lyrics to the first one. What do you get when you fall in love? A guy with a pin to burst your bubble. That's what you get for all your trouble. I'll never fall in love again. I'll never fall in love again. Very, very concise. And then the B
Mm.
section, don't tell me what it's all about, because I've been there and I'm glad I'm out of those chains that bind you. That is why I'm here to remind you. What do you get when you fall in love? You only get lies and pain and sorrow. So for at least until tomorrow, I'll never fall in love again. No, I'll never fall in love again. Musically speaking, just to give props to Bacharach, he does.
Yeah.
So many of his songs have this kind of peppy, that kind of like soft, slightly jazzy, these days kind of hokey sounding, but very cool, like super cool mod 60s. You can imagine Austin Powers, kind of grooving to it. But then he does these things with like strange chord changes you wouldn't expect, no, never fall in love again. Yeah. And no one else would ever do that. Like,
and it's
that's
also
just
that what makes him Burt Bacharach, and also is that what we as a listener and as maybe not as a as a trained musician is that what we are attracted by? Like, is that?
I think
what's satisfying about his music?
Well, so there's the bed of it, which is just the groove and the sound and the arrangements and the singers he uses, Dionne Warwick being, one of the most prominent. But the lyrics are fun to listen to, the way, dun da da dun da 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 dun da dun da da dun da 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 dun da.
You remember?
What's that?
It feels easy to remember. Like they feel
it's catchy,
easy,
right? It feels very. Now so far that far into it, the melody could just be Muzak. Like, it could just be, dun da da dun 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 dun. I'll never fall in love again. That's where it gets a little sly. That there's a kind of a wink. There's a slight edge to it, but it's still done with a smile. And he also does. This is a little technical, but he does a lot of time signature changes. Where instead of staying in a straight 4/4, he'll like stretch a word out and then complete the line. Like, it takes you out of your comfort zone just enough, but keeps you comfortable. It's always it's like going on it's almost like if you're on like a merry-go-round or something, and it slightly jolts you a little bit, but then it takes you back into the. It's exciting within the confines of comfort, I would say. That's how I would describe Bacharach's music. And Hal David's lyrics, they're clever. They don't take up too much space. He really knows who he's writing for. He knows who his composer is. So he knows that his composer can do a lot with a little. It's a really good collaboration.
Yeah, and I love the one with Elvis Costello as well. Oh my God. Talking about a breakup record.
That's the one with God Give Me Strength, right?
Yeah.
Have you ever said to yourself, I'll never fall in love again?
No. Well, maybe, I've been sick of it and just sort of, but more like, or sad that I would never fall in love anymore. Like, that's more the feeling that I think I remember.
Like, that was my last time.
I'll never meet
my last
else.
time. I'll never meet it. That one I have thought many, many times. Well,
not like I've never
I had a good run.
That's the end of it now. Yeah, I can keep going.
Please do. You brought some great ones today.
These words are mine. Let's get it.